Over the weekend, deputies made 23 arrests, handled 687 calls for service, and made 148 traffic stops.
It was a busy weekend for the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, and one notable event was the collaboration between FCSO deputies and Bunnell Police to respond to a large disturbance in Bunnell, which resulted in multiple arrests. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
Deputies assisted the Bunnell Police Department and ultimately made a total of 6 arrests together in South Bunnell after a large disturbance involving 50 to 60 people occurred. What I can tell you is that alcohol and being mad usually is not a recipe for success. And in this case, our deputies and Bunnell officers had to defuse the situation, and 6 individuals found themselves being taken to the Green Roof Inn, including 1 juvenile.
Another notable event was on Sunday when a Putnam County fugitive was captured in Flagler County.
Was identified by Deputy Privat and arrested after he was spotted driving a vehicle. Knowing that he had a suspended driver's license and was a fugitive from Putnam County, Deputy Privat and other deputies conducted a felony traffic stop and took the subject into custody without any issues. Great job by all our deputies handling all these calls and the different incidents that occurred.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Wednesday, March 6th. A Bunnell housekeeper is accused of stealing a client's jewelry after they passed away.
Police Chief David Brandon says it all started October 28th of last year after an elderly woman died at her home. Months later, her husband went looking for the ring.
The victim and the person reporting this to me eventually realized he was missing a ring that belonged to his wife. And he said that they originally estimated the value of the ring to be about $40,000.
After ruling out police, paramedics, and the funeral home, Chief Brandon says they questioned the housekeeper, 57-year-old Ruth Ann Robertson.
What she did admit to was that when she stole the ring, eventually about 3 or 4 days after she had passed away, she claimed that she wanted to have something to remember the woman by. But apparently that didn't last very long because then she went and pawned the ring and then later sold it to a friend on the other side of Florida.
Brandon says his detectives went to work.
We found out through the investigation that Ms. Robertson, she had a friend over in the Bradenton, Florida area over near Tampa. And she got her to come to Bunnell, pay off some of her other pawn debts at the local pawn shop here. And then she bought the ring from Miss Robertson for an additional $900.
Robertson now faces a second-degree felony charge of dealing in stolen property. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Moody.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
It has been a priority of mine to make sure we're staying ahead of trends, schemes, frauds, and making sure Floridians have that information in a timely manner to protect themselves.
During National Consumer Protection Week, Florida's Attorney General Ashley Moody is bringing attention to rooftop solar scams.
According to Attorney General Moody, the statistics are daunting about the recklessness in the rooftop solar industry.
Since 2019, our office has experienced an increase of over 700% in complaints regarding residential solar installation. Rooftop solar is a booming market. That is no surprise. According to an industry group, installations grew by nearly 50% in the first quarter of 2023. Residential solar grew by a staggering 1,000% over the last 5 years.
Moody does agree there are good faith players in the solar industry, but those that aren't could bleed you dry.
Complaints in our office, we are seeing consumers reporting costs exceeding $100,000. If consumers are not careful, they may lose that much in an upfront payment or loan obligations for work that never gets completed.
Among the most vulnerable are the elderly and veterans. Moody says the bad players in the solar industry are also damaging homes and triggering liens to be placed on properties because of incomplete work. However, Moody says there is a resource to help guide you in the right direction.
If anyone is interested on the more common scams, you can go to myfloridalegal.com/scams@a-glance.
Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody says her office took legal action against 3 deceptive solar companies just last year. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.